All hands man battle stations. The Desert Admiral is arriving. Hey guys, this is the Desert Admiral coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, from the control room of my desert submarine here. It's been a couple weeks since I did my last update. A few questions that have come up on the forums on accessanallies.org about the upcoming tournament, and then just a couple more updates as we go along here. So I am going to go ahead and start a series that in essence is Young Grasshopper's Rules. There's a fair number of people that went to Grasshopper's tournament in Toronto, but there's a lot that didn't, obviously. And just to make sure that everybody fully understands the rules, I've gotten a couple questions already, and I foresee more coming on the way. So just kind of go back over them for everybody, and hopefully I do them all justice, and I make Young Grasshopper proud. So real quick here, one of the first questions that has popped up for me is time. So in the last video, I talked about the time limits for all the countries. The major powers being Germany, Japan, and England have 13 minutes, whereas the next tier of folks, the Soviet Union and the United States, have 10 minutes. The third tier, Italy and Anzac, have 8 minutes, and France has a whopping 3 minutes to play for their turn. How do these time limits work? That was the first question. The timer starts when it's that country's turn to start its turn. So, it's like, all right. And typically this is how it was set at the tournament and in preparing. So Germany is on the clock. So Germany's timer starts right then at that point and goes throughout Germany's purchase phase and then through its combat movement phase. And then when it's time for combat resolution, i.e. rolling of dice, that is when the timer stops. So it starts once again, once they start their purchase or thinking of their purchase, goes through all that, goes through all their combat movement, stops when they're basically ready to roll dice. So we roll all the dice. Once the rolling of dice is done and it's time for the non-combat phase, the timer starts again and stops when their turn is completely over and it's the next country's time to go. So if there's a lot of combat resolution, don't worry, you're not penalized for it, and it goes along pretty well from there. Next question that has come up: what about teammates and partners? What about if you're coming by yourself? A lot of people obviously, play Axis and Allies with a home group. They have someone that they like to play with quite a bit, and a lot of people like to bring their own partners. That way they can strategize before they come and have everything worked out. For those folks who don't have a partner, you will be randomly matched up with somebody sufficiently enough in advance of the tournament. That way contact information will be exchanged, and then you can talk to your partner so that you're not arriving cold at the tournament. For example, I teamed up with Surprise Attack, and Surprise Attack is a guy from Syracuse, New York. Obviously, I live here in Las Vegas. That's just who Grasshopper had paired me up with. Never met the guy before. Great guy, awesome guy. We went ahead and talked a fair amount on the phone before we came. We also played, probably 4 games on AAA on the forums against each other, kind of showing each other strategies and that kind of thing. And I think probably the first game was probably more about, I wonder if my teammate actually knows how to play Axis and Allies. I know that was kind of on my mind. And speaking of AAA, in case some of you guys haven't heard that before, it's a great way to play Axis and Allies on the forums. You play it through the forums and posting and all that. If you're curious on how it works and all that kind of thing, just go to accessanallies.org. I think it's almost all the way near the bottom, going to the software hyperlink. You know, there's all these hyperlinks about events and finding players and all the individual 1914, 1940 games, etc., etc. At the bottom is software. Gargantua has an awesome thread. It's called KISS on installing AAA, and you kind of get your test yourself. I will say that most of the folks on the online are pretty good. You can play it one of two ways. You can play it. There's just a sort of a non-ranked system, and then there's a league system which is ranked. Also, for some of you guys out there that didn't get to play Gargantua or Variants, and you think, hey, that Desert Admiral guy, he was slacking a little bit. I think I could have done better than Desert Admiral against. I think I could have done better against Feed Your Dread, and I wish I had a crack at them. Well, go online, because they both play online quite a bit, and test your mettle against those guys. I dare you. So, let's see. Hold on, I just dropped my sheet. Bear with me for a second, guys. Give you some interlude music while I'm getting my notes out right here. Okay, so next item. Registrations. Right now, the registration system is online for MeepleCon 2018. I have referenced it quite a bit in my thread under accessandallies.org. But if you want to go ahead and sign up, it's $50 for all 3 days, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just go ahead and sign up for that, and then let me know once you have signed up and paid, so that I can pencil you in, or actually more than just pencil you in, I can go ahead and put you in an official slot. Let's see, a quick thought that just escaped my brain there. 3 days, yeah. So for 3 days, I had another question about kind of a loser's bracket and that kind of thing. In case I think the question that came to me was, what happens if I go against Gargantua and I lose? It's kind of unlucky for me. I don't know, Gargantua is developing quite the reputation, but it's kind of unlucky if I draw Gargantua in the first round and then I lose. What I'm going to go ahead and do is this. Everybody that wants to play for the third day will have a chance to play on the third day. And what we'll do is we will just pair people up according to just the number of points that they had. Just like we paired number 1 and number 2 by the top 1 and 2 points, and then the bronze medal game with number 3 and number 4 points, we'll just keep going all the way down, and that way everybody will have a chance to play. So there'll be a number 5 and number 6 and number 7, number 8. So you'll have a chance to maybe be in the top 5, maybe be in the top 10, and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So feel free to book yourself for all 3 days. Come on and stay. Have a lot of fun at the tournament. So that's the partners. Yeah. So I am going to go ahead, as I mentioned, go over create a separate series for Grasshoppers rules and go over those in detail. There's also another question on the forum about the token for the Philippines, and when would the team get the Philippines token if it was never taken, and that would be at the end of the game. Just because one of the strategies, and just to kind of let you guys know where this comes from, one of the strategies, and I'll admit this was my strategy, this was our team strategy. Our strategy was this: hey, as the Axis powers, we're just not going to give the Philippines up. I mean, we're not going to take the Philippines and then give the Allies a chance to take it back, so that we don't just give them a free token. Because you can sometimes you can accidentally lose sight of the Philippines, and let that Anzac transport sneak on in there and get a free token for the U.S. And then, of course, if the war's not going that great for Japan, and they kind of have to shrink and defend Tokyo a little bit, or maybe not just defend Tokyo, but maybe defend the mainland a little bit. It can be a little rough if you're being squeezed a little bit to defend all those. If you've got pressure from the Americans maybe down in the Australia area, and then you have the wonderful Anzacians coming up, and then of course the Brits out of Sydney down there in the jungle. So that was our strategy, and I can tell you, in playing several games in preparation for it, that was my strategy also. I was like, look, hey, I know that it's an extra 5 IPCs for the United States for them to have the Philippines, but I tell you what, I'm going to let them have the 5 IPCs, and I'm not going to let them have that darn token. So, yeah. And then the last thing I have for tonight is, despite allowing the Desert Admiral into Canada once early this year for Grasshoppers tournament, the Canadians are going to allow me into Canada for a second time this fall. Yes, the Desert Admiral is returning to Canada, everybody. I'm actually going to Vancouver, and I'm going to go visit my sister here next week, and hopefully I get a chance to play against the infamous Gargantua. Hopefully I don't get my butt whipped too bad by Gargantua. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So once again, hey guys, please let me know. Continue to let me know if you want to come to the tournament. Oh, I almost forgot. It's like Grasshoppers, and I've got one more thing for you. Just hold on to this video. I got one more thing for you. I have big news. So here we go. There is a guy who told me that he has a partner and that they're interested in coming to the tournament. And guess what? This partner is female. I have never seen a female play Axis and Allies. So, some of you guys have. I know that I've seen one name on the forums called, her name is Commander Jennifer, that is kind of like higher up in the echelon. I assume that Commander Jennifer is a female, but yeah, we might actually have the first female player that I've seen play Axis and Allies. I know that we didn't have any females playing in Toronto. We had precious few females in the room. Now, having said that, if you are a woman or a female, please don't let me scare you away by saying that. So in the end, we're just a bunch of, for the most part, harmless, dorky guys. I know I'm a dorky guy. I'm not going to call Detroit dorky guy because he's a cop and he's pretty buff. So, yeah. So I thought that was pretty huge news, if you will. That's all I have for tonight. I, in general, guys, want to try and keep my videos to sort of a 10 to 15 minute time frame. That way you can watch them on the fly and not have too much stuff packed into one. So a lot of my videos will contain one item, and then I will label that for the video so that you can just easily click on. I did include several different things in this one, but yeah, I look forward to seeing more of you guys sign up for the tournament. Getting excited. I mean, it is about to be November, and so November, December, January, February, March. That'd be through March. So we have about 4 months. I know it seems like we haven't even passed the holidays, but it'll be time to start looking at plane tickets and reservations and signing up for things. So things are starting to move and starting to get more inquiries into the tournament. And we have several bigger names that have signed up and several that are interested as well that have let me know on the side. So if you have any questions, give me a holler. You can reach me, obviously, a comment here on one of the videos. And you can also reach me through the forums. Just go to axisandallies.org and then just send a message to Desert Admiral, and I'll pop right up. Desert Admiral, or actually desertadmiral@gmail.com will work as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you later. Signing out.